Yeah, we back.
Yeah, we in here. I'm saying part
Hmm.
two, girl in the garage, fraud alert. Everyone just keep following us. Yes.
Hmm.
Straight fraud.
Yep.
And we're gonna get into this today. This is part two. And we have same thing we did with the last one. We have articles and we're just gonna kind of summarize, just give you a little summary, give you the dates and everything. We're just gonna discuss it as usual. And I do have a video clip this time. We're gonna play as well, and we're just gonna break that down.
Hmm.
You ready?
Yep.
Yeah, you can start off. You know.
Okay. So if everybody's watching, this is the second part again, and just follow along with articles. And if you go online with to look at some of these articles, um, you can see that they're lying articles.
Oh
One
yeah.
article says one thing, another, and the thing is that these aren't just articles. She does a lot of videos
Yep.
and stuff, and so she tells one story here in 2018, another story here in 2019, a story here in 2015, a different story here in 2016. Then
hmm
2011, she tells us a certain type of story here, then another story, and you
Yeah.
can't miss it because it's all over the internet.
And here's the thing: we have been consistent in everything
Yes.
we said. Even last year when our siblings were up here,
Hmm.
everybody was consistent and said the same thing. And like there was times like before we started doing videos years back, just talking with y'all.
Hmm.
And I would speak y'all at different times, maybe this year, next year. Everybody said the same thing. It was never like, oh no, this now. Everybody got their different perspectives because
Hmm.
they saw certain stuff. But far as like the whole story in itself, it's the same.
Correct.
Yeah.
And the thing is that, like I said, you can't get away from these articles. What we did last week, we're going to do the same thing this week, but just got more articles that you can go online and you can view, so that way you can see our side and what we're talking about. Like, if she states that she was held hostage in one article in 2018 for four
Yeah.
years. Then in
hmm
another article, she states, "Oh, I was held hostage for 8 months."
Yeah.
So, and
Yeah.
like I said, if you watched last week, we did ask questions because we did have an appointment with the district attorney, Riverside office. And a lot of these questions, Richard was present. I was able to ask.
Yep.
So, if you guys want to look at the first part we did to this video we're going to do right now, you'll see some of the questions that we asked. There's a list.
Oh
And then
yeah.
some of those questions will also be in our discussion today.
Yeah. All right. You can get going because I'm just trying to make sure I got all my notes
Okay.
too.
So we're
Yeah.
going to start with November 4th, 2025. Laura Cowing told Tamron Hall that Musa was her husband. Now, we just talked about that before we got on
Uh-huh.
um, for a good 5 minutes. There's a lot of articles that you all might see out there. And on those headlines and also in interviews, she states out of her own mouth, so these are facts we're talking about, that our father was her husband. Our father was not her husband,
Nope.
okay? She had her own husband, okay? They used the Muslim religion as a cult to hide behind polygamy and say that
hmm
they was practicing polygamy when she was having an affair with a married man who had a wife of 25 years and 13 children. So she used that, oh, we were Muslims and we practiced polygamy. We wasn't a polygamous family at
Yeah.
all. And so she has put that out there in the media that um, I came into this polygamous family. It was no polygamy. Our dad was only married to our mother until they hatched this affair that they had. And then she came in and she used polygamy as a way to say that she was practicing polygamy with him. And he did too, because
It too, yeah.
he knew better according to his religious beliefs and what that Quran said. And you got to take everything back to the book, with religion. The Quran states in there about polygamy. It doesn't state that to be a polygamist that you get to go and have a wife of 25 years and 13 children, and then you get to go and cheat on your wife, and then after you've cheated enough, you bring another individual in, and then you say, that's my polygamous wife.
Yeah.
That wasn't polygamy, and that's not how it worked. It's the total opposite of what he said when he testified and what she said.
And also in the Muslim religion, if you're going to take on another wife, they have to have their own home and their own, everything has to be different.
They're supposed to have their own everything. They're supposed to have their own jobs. They're supposed to have their own homes. They're supposed to take care of their own children. They're supposed to have their own cars and their own bank accounts, their own separate income. There's no putting income together. None of that. So I'm just making it clear to everybody, and it's going to be repetitiously this year because we're going to be speaking about a lot. Our father was not Laura Cowing's husband. Her husband was Gregory Kurt Lacy, a.k.a. Ahmed Shabazz. And if you watch the movie Girl in the Garage, she states in the movie, because she told the people that whoever wrote the movie that she met this man and married him within 4 months, and that he was the love of her life, and that they had been married for 10 years. 10 years. And she still stated, even though she was in this fake polygamous relationship that they want to call with our father, she still states that he was still her husband. So you got to look at these articles, because there's 2 articles. There's an article with Terry Crumpton on YouTube, Hollywood in the Hood, and you will see Laura expressing to Terry Crumpton when he asked her, didn't you know what you was getting into before you got into it? And she said, yeah, I knew exactly what I was getting into. I went in with my eyes wide open, and I wanted the relationship and I wanted it to work. Then fast forward to 2025, she's on the Tamron Hall show, and she's on podcasts on YouTube saying, he tricked me. How do you switch like that? He tricked me.
Yeah, he tricked you. Okay.
Yeah. So, like I said, again, he was not her husband. You're not going to find any married marriage pictures. Our parents have some because we've seen them. You're not going to find no marriage certificate. Our parents have one because we've seen it. Our mother and father, they still married till today. It ain't no, he was my husband. This was my husband. He was never her husband. Never.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to go back to November 4th, 2025, where we just stated Laura Cowing is not Mansa Musa Muhammad, Richard Bodie, a.k.a. Junior, husband. He was not her husband. They was never, ever married. Musa has only been married once, and that's to our mother. And he is still married to our mother. As we speak right now, today, he's still married to our mother. And you're not going to find any marriage certificate or any type of wedding photos of Laura being married to our father. But you'll find a wedding photo online of her in the wedding dress and get married to her husband. And then she had a second husband too. She had another husband. She's married 2 times. 2 times. So
according to her, 3 times.
When one podcaster asked her about, come on, Rich. When one podcaster asked her about, are you gonna ever get married again? She said, hell no. And then she said, which one? She likes that stuff.
Yeah, she do. Yeah.
Why would you even want to call somebody your husband that you claim did all that stuff to you? Why would you want to call somebody your husband?
like I said,
This is a this
Musa
is
and
weird.
Musa and Laura were Bonnie and Clyde. That's like, that's for real, y'all. Y'all just don't know. That's how it was for real.
If you wasn't there, you don't know. So everybody just pull their chairs really close in and just listen.
Yeah, get ready this year, because
Get prepared for the shock.
yeah. All right, what's the next?
Okay, so the next one is January 15th, 2025. Laura told Cal C. So it's this YouTube channel with this older guy.
Was it TV20, something like that says? It started, I
Yeah.
believe.
Yeah, and he has a little podcast up
Oh
there,
yeah.
and it's called Cal C. She told Cal C that Moose had 19 children. Correction, he doesn't have 19 children. He has 13 children with our mother, and he has one each with Laura and one with Adrian.
Yeah.
That's 15 children. He doesn't have 19 children, so that's a lie.
What they was doing, they was trying to add in Laura's kid and Adrian's one of her kids. That's what it was doing, trying to add them in too.
And if you read in articles too, that's another thing, because she consistently mentions us all the time. So she always say those 13 kids.
Yeah.
Those 13 kids, or that brother in Virginia.
Yeah, that brother in Virginia.
That brother in Virginia.
Yo, what's up with that?
Yep. So, also, she stated that Musa starved her. Now, I confirmed this with the district attorney's office, and they told us that Laura was not starved, that's a lie, that she was not starved. So, for the person that was leaving a lot of comments, this is for you again. If you're tuning in and watching, though, that's one of the questions we asked the district attorney, because it's a lot of that out there, that she was starved, and they said no, she wasn't starved. So no, you'd be able to tell if she was starving. Trust me, she wasn't. Okay, April 2nd, 2024 YouTube video done by TV20. Laura told a reporter that Musa took her to the post office. Correction, Musa did not drive her to any post office. It was not a guy who distracted him. Laura knew the man who drove the both of them there to the post office, and there is a video of the person who drove her there. So if you come up here on this channel and you look, I think it was December 2nd?
Yeah.
Of 2025, we did that video. So you'll see Hanif was the person.
Yeah. And Hanif, he's up here. And he comes up here every now and then.
He comes up here sometimes and he speaks. So he'll probably join us soon on some other podcast shows as well. But he was the one who drove them, the both of them, to the post office. And there was nobody that just came out of nowhere and distracted them. So that's a lie right there. She made that up. But then if you look back in article that was done on March 7th of 2025, she cleared it up. And she only cleared that up because, like I said, in the last year, she's probably been watching us speak. And so she figured she clear it up now. So she had been saying for years that he drove her to the post office to get a package, that Musa drove her. But all of a sudden, 20 years later, she finally tells the truth partially and says in March 7th of 2025 that there was an acquaintance that drove them there.
Yeah.
That's what she said. So she knows exactly who it was. And then the other thing is, she had told the reporter there, she said something about, if you see something, say something.
Yeah.
And I was like stuck on that one.
Do you want me to play that clip now? Because I know that I don't know if you got it written down here because we got so many notes.
Yeah.
and everything. But since you're talking about it, I'm gonna play that clip so we can
Yeah.
go through that. So give me a
This is a
second. Let me
good
get this
one.
set up. Yeah, this
Hmm.
is all right. Here we go.
Especially close to home. She too was held captive in that very same California city with 13 children as well. Shelby Miller joins us now with the improbable Laura Cowan story. Shelby.
Yeah, Chris, the similarities between these two stories certainly are frightening. Many people in our community know Laura Cowan. She, along with 2 other women and 13 children, were held captive in California. It's been 20 years since she escaped, but this story immediately took her right back.
They called it a house of horrors, and that's what they called ours too.
Chained up, malnourished, and tortured. Laura Cowan knows all too well what the 13 Turpin children held captive inside their California home went through.
It was a house of horrors. It was doom and gloom.
In the mid-90s, Cowan herself spent more than 6 months chained up inside a garage with 13 children and 2 other adults. Her captor was someone she thought she could trust.
You don't understand why a person does that to you, especially a loved one, especially someone who's supposed to be taking care of you. This is not a total stranger. This was their parents. He was my husband. Why did they do that?
The similarities only get more unsettling. Cowan was held captive in Paris, California, the same place the Turpins were found. When she finally broke free, the same sheriff's department stepped in to help.
I'm quite sure someone over there probably said, hey, this reminds me of that case back in '98.
Cowan escaped by slipping a note to a postal worker. She knows the courage it took for the 17-year-old girl to finally break free.
That little girl was so brave to do what she did, to rescue her siblings. She's my hero. She is. I mean, she saved all of them.
Even though the 13 siblings, who range in age from 2 to 29, are now free, Cowan says they may never fully recover.
Post-traumatic stress disorder, anxiety, depression, you know, they're going to go through a lot. And just wondering why their parents did that to them, it's going to be the question on their minds.
Cowan's captor was sentenced to 7 consecutive life sentences for what he did to her and the other women and children inside the home. She wants people to to know their neighbors, and she stresses if you see something, please say something, because if someone would have spoken up, these children may have been rescued sooner than they were. Chris?
That's a very narcissistic thing to say, what that reporter said. Is always what she wants, is that she wants people to get to know their neighbors. Look, people move into neighborhoods and they're just not social people. That doesn't mean that there's some abuse going on or somebody's doing something wrong. They just private.
Yeah.
You don't need to be running through the neighborhood, going through to everybody's house. And what the reporter said, she wants everybody to get to know her neighbors. Neighborhoods don't work like that. We're not living like back in the 50s and 80s and certain eras where things was different. We don't live like that. You know, it's this world is totally different.
Yeah, it's a
And
different
it seemed
world
like
now.
just her making that statement, she's setting people up for failure, because if somebody gonna do something wrong, you're gonna blatantly see it. There was things that was done to us that people in the neighborhood saw, and it wasn't done like, oh, I'm gonna just do it out in the open. It was done like, you know, it was done in a way that the individual didn't know that they was doing it. Like he was doing certain stuff and she was doing stuff, and they wasn't aware that they was doing it, and people in the neighborhood saw them. Like, for example, she's saying she was held hostage, captive. Everybody in the neighborhood in those transcripts and court minutes is stating that they saw her all the time. Her and our father leave the home all the time and come back all the time. I mean, you're talking about neighbors and everybody, you know, that knew us. But getting back to that video, she mentioned again that he was our father. That's without a doubt, he's our father, but he wasn't your husband. So she
Exactly.
mentioned that again, that this was my husband. He was not her
She
husband.
she slipped that in there too.
Yeah,
She crazy, I'm telling
he
you.
did it again. Did it
See,
again.
we're
I'm
not
like,
lying, y'all. This
I'm
is what
sitting here looking
she's
at that video. I'm
saying.
like, this is another
Yeah.
doozy right here.
You know what tripped me out about that video? She said she was chained up in the garage
with
with
all of
13
us.
children and two other
It's
adults. That's not true.
Mom, Laura, and Adrian was not locked up in no garage. They was not chained in no garage. Me and none of our siblings was chained in no garage with her. And our father did a lot of stuff and we discussed it, but he did not have all 13 of us and all 3 of them women in the garage chained up. She's lying about that again. Again. She's lying about that. And then to sit up there and say a 17-year-old, first of all, for the family, we know what it's like. So for her to say that she knows what it's like, that's a blatant lie.
That's a
But for
lie.
what they went through, all of us, we know what
We
it's
know,
like
yeah.
because we went through a lot of that stuff. But the thing is, our situation was worse
Yeah.
than those Turpin kids because we didn't have any cell phones. And thank God they had a cell phone to call
somebody,
and get help. We didn't have that. And the thing is, when she said the 17-year-old is a hero, I'm thinking to myself again, she seemed like she always want to get close to people that's in the media that's been victims of horrific stuff so that way she get her shine on,
Yeah.
And I'm just like, sometimes you need to butt out and leave people alone. That's what you need to do.
Which said, if you see something, say something.
Yeah, if you see
Well,
something,
she saw everything. She said nothing. I mean, y'all keep watching. Y'all already know it's about to get crazy this year. She
I'm
saw
gonna tell you something
everything.
she saw. I'm gonna tell you something she saw
Okay.
right now. She made the statement. I didn't say it. I saw it, and the whole audience saw it that's watching. Where she said she wants people, if you see something, say something. Laura saw something. She saw something in many articles. She said when she first met our father, she said she came to where we was living at, which was in a hotel. And she said the first thing she noticed is that all of us staring off into space like robots. And she said we didn't bat an eye. None of us moved. None of us talked. None of us didn't say anything. So she saw something, right? But she didn't say anything at all. And then it got deeper than that. She was having an affair with our father, and she saw 2 incidents happen with our older sister and our father in her own home.
Yep.
And guess what? She went and took him in her husband's bed, her legal husband bed, and laid up with him in there with a married man. So I'm gonna just leave it at that until we get the rest of the paperwork. But it's gonna blow everybody away. It really is. It's gonna blow people away when you hear some of the stuff. It's because I learned a lot last week, and I'm going on these excursions a lot.
Yo.
I'm like, it be shocking me. I'm like, what? Because you think you really know everything, but then when you start asking questions and doing your own investigation, you start figuring stuff out. I'm like, no, this is crazy. This is literally crazy. I don't see her as no advocate to nobody because of things that I saw her do, and I see using other victims is her way out to make people think that, oh, I wasn't that type of person they said I was. That's not what I was. So, like I said, this shit it's weird, all of it. So then we go on. You ready to go on, Richard?
Yeah. I'm just
Okay, so we go on to Terry Crumpton's interview of Laura Cowing, February 5th, 2012. Laura Cowing told Terry Crumpton she knew Musa already for some years. Now, getting to that right there, that's another thing I wanted to dissect, is that it was no holding a gun to her head and kidnapping her. she already knew him, and she knew him for many of years,
And like
many.
we found out, we didn't know that how many years he actually knew her until we found out ourselves. It's longer than
Yeah.
what people think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised. He had been knowing her for some years. So all this meeting him at a mosque, like it's a lot of stories out there, and I've seen it on TikTok, I've seen it on Facebook, I've seen it on Instagram where people are saying, "Well, she said that he told her that her husband said to go with him."
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it just don't make no sense. Why would her husband tell her to go with another family, knowing that he got 2 kids and a wife?
And why would the people at the mosque tell her that too? Because they didn't. That's not how that goes.
Just another way to make Muslim people look bad, and to make those imams look bad, like she did with the church that was helping her.
Mm-hmm.
She talked about the pastors in the church really bad on the podcast. Like I said, everybody it seemed like that has helped her. She bit the hand that fed her. So, so I'm just like, getting back to that is that she knew him, for a long time. This was not a stranger to him. She made a statement that I knew of him because him and my husband was acquaintances. No, you knew him directly. You knew him. It ain't had nothing to do with you and your husband being acquaintances. You knew him directly. You knew him. So in another article for WKYC news,
this the one that's a trip right here. This is a trip right here. This is crazy.
Yeah. So in a WKYC article dated August 7, 2011, Laura said Musa walked in her place of business and stole her and her children.
Get out of here, man. Yo, this the one you was telling me about. Now, I didn't see this one. This the one you was telling me about. And I was like, what?
Yeah. So if you guys Google this article right here, WKYC article, Channel 3 News, she spoke that Musa went up into her place of business and just walked in there and stole her and her children out of her place of business. But if you look at court testimony and court records, she states that he helped her move out of her place of business, and he helped her out a lot, and she's going to be forever grateful to him.
And here's the thing: she was living off the family. The family wasn't living off of her.
Mm-hmm.
Because she saying, "Nah, was bro, he took advantage of you. You didn't have no money."
And she said she had to file for bankruptcy. That clip you played a few minutes ago. In that clip, she said she had to file for bankruptcy because of him. But she told the DA and everybody in court when she testified that she was penniless. She didn't have anything. But said she had to file for bankruptcy when her kids was 12, 15, and 18.
What that got to do with Musa?
That's what I'm trying to say. This was long, many years gone past. So what did that have to do with him? You filing bankruptcy. Those was your own issues.
I tell you.
Yeah. But he walked in a place of business and took her and her kids. Our brother worked and our sister worked in her place of business. And the thing is that she's creating a story like, oh, I had the way she's saying she's creating, she's not telling the full truth. She's telling the story this way. I had the business, and my husband went to jail, and then the business started going down. So Musa just walked in the place and took me and my kids. Okay, let's go back to the other articles on the imams introducing you to him, and the you going to the mosque and they introduce him, then going to the masjid, because it's two different things. It's Nation of Islam and the mosque. So they call the Nation of Islam called their place of worship the mosque, and the regular Muslims that are in different sects called their place of worship masjid. So I'm just like, which one is it? Which one happened? Because first he stole you and your kids out your place of business. Then you went to the imam to get help and they sent you to him. Then you went to the mosque and the Nation of Islam brothers in the mosque sent you to him. Then you met him through your husband because he was your husband's acquaintance. These are all the articles that's out there. So it's like, which one do we believe? You see, those are the lies right there when you get down to the bottom of everything. Like, which one was it? You know?
The way she talked, you would think
our two siblings worked in her store, and one of our brothers babysat her son for many a months before she even shut the store down.
Yeah, but the way she talks, you would think she knew dad for 20-something years. The way she talks, you would think that, you know, it's just mind-boggling to me. It's like, come on, people, do your research.
When her husband went to prison, federal prison, for selling those guns, our father was gone. Okay, he had moved out of the hotel that we were staying in. He took his clothes, everything, moved in with her. He came back because evidently he wanted his wife back because he had got food poisoning and he got a case of diarrhea, a bad case of diarrhea. He was just complaining to our mom. He said, "Mom, I think she put something."
What she say? What he say, Crystal?
Look, Mom, I think she put something in my food. Stomach was tore up.
Did she do this to him like more than one time?
A couple of times.
Yeah, I think she was trying to poison him for real.
Yeah, a couple of times. And that clip, like, that's why I said I'm just shocked at that clip. I laughed when I saw that clip in Girl in the Garage when she was supposedly helping one of our sisters. I think it was Tiffany with some food. Like, that was forbidden in our house to take any food away from her, anything away from her, because he just had it that the 2 times he got sick, you know, that she had food poison him. So I was just like, I mean, everybody knew, all of us kids in the house, we knew not to eat anything she had. Nothing. We knew that. We knew not to eat anything. So I'm just like, that's just weird right there. So then I go back to let me see, did we read this one yet?
Which one? The February 5th one?
Yeah, we talked about that
okay,
already.
Yeah. Okay.
So we're gonna go to April 25th, 2025. Laura told Charles White that she knew Musa was sexually abusing his children and detailed information on every disgusting thing she knew. Yet she stated he was charming, nice, and helped her out a lot, and she would forever be grateful to him. Don't you think that's weird?
You see something, you say something.
Yep, there we go again with that part.
Yeah, exactly. She didn't do none of that. She yeah.
You see something, say something. You know?
I'm gonna start saying that.
Yep. And then we go to December 21st, 2016. This is something I didn't even know. And I think I just discovered this one right here, like in detail. This one was December 21st. This article, 2016. This is some type of Cleveland-based newspaper that did this article with her. Laura said her husband, Gregory Lacey, a.k.a. Ahmed Shabazz, got out of prison and got a job, and she moved in with him. Wait. But then, wait a minute. That clip you just played a few minutes ago, that was a 2011 clip, right? Where she said dad was her husband, right?
That was 2017.
Okay, 2017.
No, 2018. That was 2018.
Okay, 2018. But okay, she said that dad was her husband, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so right here in this December 21st Cleveland News article, she said that her husband, Gregory Lacey, how did you have two husbands? This is 2016.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, she flipped.
Okay,
Yeah.
so how did you get two husbands? She said December 21st, 2016. She said her husband, Gregory Lacey, got out of prison and got a job, and she moved in with him in an apartment that they was planning a life together after she had cheated and had another child. She said her husband died January 16, 2001. Now all of a sudden she has a husband.
Check this out though, but
Oh, this is crazy.
the timeline is not
The
adding up when she
timeline is
left.
bad.
When she left California, because when did she come back and get with him, or did he go up there?
Well,
Which is it?
we was told last year in May, me, you, and Lakeisha, when we visit the DA, that she immediately left California, and it was less than a month that she left California.
Yeah.
So now she's coming up with this new stuff in 2016 in this article saying that they got back together in 2021.
She was gone. So did he get out and go up there to Ohio and they was trying to get together? Because she wasn't in California.
I don't know. No, he was in California because remember he was in the federal prison
right.
here in
He
California.
was in. Oh, wasn't he in a halfway house for a while?
Yeah, and she stated that too.
Yeah, she did. So
stated when he got out first that he was in the halfway house, and then she said that after that, she said that he went and got a job and got an apartment, and they all moved in together.
So here's my thing. So either she came back here and took some, because she got a picture with him. Because I see Taz, she was no young. So either she came back for a while and then went back again. I don't know. The timeline is just crazy to me and what she's saying. You know, she's all over the place with this.
How can a man go to prison for 5-6 years and she go marry her legal husband, go to prison for 5-6 years, and she go get married to somebody else that has a wife, a legal wife, and then she waits until he gets out, and then she gets back with her husband that she cheated on, and she's claiming both of these guys as her husband. She's claiming two husbands.
That is wild.
I guess pimping won't easy.
You funny.
I'm just like, this is crazy right here. You talking about making a movie? You can make a movie out of this crap.
Yes, you can do a whole series.
This
you can do what
right
about
here.
5, 7?
If I'm being serious, if you looked at all of these articles that's out there on the internet, and that's what's been so difficult for all of us, all of us siblings, is that you know things that she did and all of that, and we know that she's lying and all of that stuff. And I know that people that deal with her in Cleveland, they know she's lying, and I know people that's in the media knows that she's lying. All you have to do is just look up all these articles, all these dates and names of the articles, and you will find everything she says out of her mouth is contradicting. She has a way of changing everything, you know. And like you said before last year, it's, you know what she's gonna do? She's never gonna cop to any of this.
She's not. She's not.
She's just gonna say, like you said, I'm old and senile.
Yeah.
That's what she's gonna come up with.
That's why she was on the Tamara Hall show tomorrow. She's retiring. Her kids gonna take over. Take over what?
Take over what though? What are they taking over? You ain't taking over this family. You won't be taking over us. You just forget that. You won't be doing that. I'm just like, it's just weird. It don't make no sense.
Yeah, it is.
Now, on November 17, 2014, Lord told a WKYC reporter, that's Channel 19, reported that she had been married to Musa for 4 years. Yet in December 21st of 2016, in a Cleveland article, she said she was married to her husband, Gregory Lacey. So which one is it? She said that dad was supposed to be. How do you call somebody your there's no such thing as somebody go to prison and you move up into a married man's house with his wife and his 13 children and he take over as your protector. And she told Terry Crumpton, well, it was some type of like Wali. He was like some type of Wali. That's not the way it goes at all. That's why I said that they used the Muslim religion to try to trick people up. That's what they did. They did a lot of little dirty under the table stuff, and they did it dead in people's faces to cover the trash, and the crazy stuff that they was doing. Because how are you gonna sit and say that dad was sending you messages from your husband, and there's a whole bunch of letters of her writing her husband up at the house that we used to live in Awanga that'll be shipped to us soon. Ton of letters. And she's just telling people that, she didn't know anything. And Terry Crumpton asked her, did your husband know at some point that you guys was together? She said, no, I never got a chance to tell him. I'm like,
the man gets out of prison and he dies, and you say you never got a chance to tell him. You had opportunity if you were about to move in together.
But she was writing letters.
Yes, she was.
All them letters. She was writing all those letters. It's tons of letters.
But she claimed that Musa was going up there to the prison for her. That's not true.
He never visited him.
And how you gonna raise another man's child like that?
Yeah. She's a dirty character. That's all that is. She's a dirty person. How you got two husbands? You married to Musa for 4 years, and then your husband get out and he's back your husband. How is that?
She said she didn't get a chance to tell him she was having an affair.
Yeah.
But she had a child, so which is it? You claiming he raped you, but that's not true.
If you go back and look at that interview that Marcus did last year, and I think it was in early March, where Marcus said that no, she was visiting her husband and was writing him letters, that she didn't want him to know that she had cheated and had another child with him because she was afraid of the consequences that she was going to receive when he got out. Because she also told our family that her husband was abusing her. So I think that she has a pattern in relationships. When things don't work out her way, she starts screaming abuse. That's what I think she does. So here we go. April 6, 1999 police report that we have states Laura Cowing had a refrigerator in her room full of food. This was confirmed by social worker Marilyn Crawford. November 9th, 2016, Laura was asked by Dr. Phil, did she have a refrigerator? And she lied and said she did not have a refrigerator. So
going back to refrigerator, Dr. Phil, you know what I'm saying? She was always doing that stuff.
Yeah, but look, going back to the police report that we got, that police report is dated when they completed it. The incident happened April 6th of 99, but the police report was finished by June 11th of 99. In that police report, it states that social worker Marilyn Crawford came into the home and inspected Laura's refrigerator, and Laura did have a refrigerator full of food. So we got that, right? That's in the police report. Okay. Then she goes back in November 9th of 2016 when we all was on the Dr. Phil show, and Dr. Phil asked all of us, did she have a refrigerator? And we said, yeah. And Dr. Phil knew she had a refrigerator because he had the police report. He knew she had a refrigerator because it was some things that we went through, which I'm not gonna speak on, that we saw,
Yeah.
but
Mm.
there was some things that we saw, and you know, he knew that she had a refrigerator. That's why he asked all of us, and she started saying, "I did not have a refrigerator, Dr. Phil." So
I was trapped in that garage. Like, whatever.
I'm like, nah, lady, you are so wrong. You are so wrong. Okay, now we go to September 8th, 2011. Laura told a WKYC news reporter, this is channel 3, that she did have a refrigerator in her room, and the kids would get up at night because she would stand there and watch us steal food out of her refrigerator because we was hungry. That's 3 stories right there. 3 stories.
Yeah. I'm telling you,
That's 3 stories. Now you cop into it. You telling the WKYC, and she did this in 2011 before we went on the Dr. Phil show, September 8th, 2011, and told a WKYC news reporter that she did have a refrigerator and that she would stay up at night and watch us.
you see something, you say something.
And that's what she did. She saw us stealing, so when she did it, she went to
She
our
said
dad.
something. She told
She said something. Yeah. And there are also cassette recordings of Laura documenting that Musa had 11 children who would creep through the night after he went to bed and stole food. Exhibits of her refrigerator was entered into evidence of her having a refrigerator in court transcripts. Now clock that. Clock that, everybody. I'm like Don Lemon. Now clock that.
Don Lemon gone with the dude wild, man.
Yep. And those are in court transcripts, you guys. It's dated.
Yeah.
It's dated February 13th, 2019, the exhibits of her refrigerator. So she, in fact, had a refrigerator.
Sure did.
Plus, Laura told our father's attorney when he cross-examined her that she did have a refrigerator, but it was food for her and her children. His attorney asked Laura, then why did you lie about having food? Why did you lie about not having food in the letter you wrote? Who's fooling who? Boy, this is something else right here.
I didn't have a refrigerator, Dr. Phil.
This is like, who's crazy? This is
exactly
crazy right here.
Wow. She wild.
Yeah.
Mm.
January 28th, 2012. Laura told WKYC news reporter that Musa made a hole and made her and Adrian dig holes all in the yard all the time and bury urine in the yard. And this story actually originated from Marcus' testimony. The dad made him dig a hole and buried. The thing is that this story of these story of these holes, I've been hearing this stuff since
forever.
2009. 2009. I never heard it in her testimony in court, though.
You know, she never said that in court. That's not even in the transcripts.
Even the incident that happened to Marcus, I never heard it when we was in court. So the thing of these digging these holes, this stuff is getting really old right here. Keep up there making up this story off of something that didn't happen, but using something that happened to Marcus, because the original story, like the original son said, is that the hole was dug in Mead Valley. This was in 1990. So everybody will know. And we didn't even know, Laura. And the thing about it is that dad made Marcus dig a hole. And after he dug that hole, he buried Marcus and two of our other brothers in that hole. And like I said, this incident happened in 1990. Laura hijacked the story, like Dr. Phil said.
And basically twisted it around.
Yep. Hijacking all our stories.
And
She
then
didn't just, if you're watching Dr. Phil, she didn't just hijack, that story when we was on the show. She's hijacking a lot of stories these days. Just look over the internet, everybody. You'll see all types of stories. She's hijacking from all of us. You'll see all types of stuff.
Oh, I know I want to say. That video clip that I played.
Mm-hmm.
Why they got Keisha up there?
I saw that.
See, this is what we've been telling y'all. She has information and stuff that she shouldn't have on us, and she's sharing it with the media as if we are her children. Why
is her son? Why didn't she put pictures of her children, her 3 children, being examined in the hospital? She put a picture of Keisha sitting up there with a hospital gown on. That's wrong right there.
I'm gonna play the video again
That's
later.
why people are so.
That's why people are confused.
People are so twisted and they confused. And then you go into news stations. You are 70 years old, and our mom and dad might be a year old. My mom might be a year older than her, and our dad maybe 2.5 years. And you sitting up there talking about those 2 people are your parents. Went to a news station and told somebody named Brandon Simmons that because he said that he thought that she was their daughter, because that's what she said, and then told him we was her sister and brothers.
He weird too, because he knew better.
You wish we was your sister
he
and brothers.
He weird too.
Yeah, he is. They already knew. These reporters, they be doing stuff. They already knew. They knew. Talking about they took her word at face value. First of all, they've been knowing her for years. She was born and raised in Cleveland, and she went back there. They've been knowing her for years. And then ask yourself, is that proper journalism? Ask yourself that.
Yeah.
And then not just that, but she said she was present. April 23rd, 2011, she lied and stated that she was present when dad made his son dig a hole and made him get in it, then pour honey on him. See, that part right there, she made that up.
Yeah, she wasn't around.
She wasn't around at all.
Didn't see none of that stuff.
Yeah. None of that stuff. Like you making that stuff up. Anything she sees, she gonna go make it up. Plus, I wanted to mention this real quick. She better not be putting none of us in that documentary.
That B documentary, whatever.
That B documentary. She better not mention none of us.
You know she's gonna do it. You know she's gonna talk about. You know she's gonna talk about her abuse. She's gonna say that she was kidnapped or held hostage in the garage. She's gonna say all of that stuff. She's gonna say her husband beat her up. Well, I'm telling you, she's gonna say something.
But it'll be a lie. Like it's a documentary that it would be a lie because he was that. I mean, look, those are just the facts. He wasn't her husband. Those are true facts.
He didn't beat her up. That's just facts.
Look, here in the state of California, I know in certain states, if you like, let's say you don't get married to somebody, but you with them for 10 years. Here in California, they don't recognize common law. In California, it don't exist. You got to be married. But in some other states, if you with a guy for over 10 years, then they do recognize you as being that person's wife. And they call that common law. But here in California, they don't recognize that at all. But still, even if it was that she was with him for 10 years, just hypothetically speaking, she was still married. She still had a husband that was incarcerated.
Mm.
She had papers on her husband.
Wow. So we're looking
Okay,
at now.
in January 18, 2025, Lord told a podcaster by the name of Danielle that when police arrived, it was over 50 cars on the property, and they had helicopters and army tanks surrounding Musa because he had held her with a gun hostage. Oh my gosh.
There's no way.
This is
There's
too
no,
dramatic for
there's
me.
no way you're saying she was
Whoa.
helicopters was everywhere. Like
Yeah.
50 cars.
Boy, army tanks for one person, army tanks, helicopters.
Would you say
And
Crystal
the weird
Choppers?
part is when I saw this, I saw this on this podcaster Danielle's show that was dated January 18, 2025. I think we saw this close to like September of
Yeah, we
last
did.
year. And she was so hyped about it. She was like, when the lady said they had army tank, the lady said they had army tanks. She said, oh yeah, there was army tanks. Oh, they was everywhere. They was covering the whole property. She said they was running in, running out, and trying to stop him and was screaming. She said then when they got him, they tackled him down to the ground. It was none of that.
Man, that's
None of that. You're so dramatic, lady. Then she said he held a gun to her head. Guess what? When they came into the house, that was one of the things they removed out of the house. And guess what? There was no bullets in the gun.
Yeah, and he had illegal. He had
It was legal. The gun was
Yeah.
legal. He had a legal right. He had papers on
Everything.
the gun. The gun was registered to him. It was his gun. It was legal. But I'm gonna tell you the part that I don't like is that when you tell a lie about certain stuff, that stuff is stained on you. And like I said, we all have to go back to God one day. And I'm like, you're going to be held accountable for that stuff. And I'm looking at it like this, is that, do you know how many times that I watched our brother having a gun put in his mouth and put to his head, and then a bullet being actually shot at him? And then how many times me and all my siblings, we had rifles pointed at us and rifles pointed at our mom. And then, right, it's scary. It's a really scary situation. And I'm like, when you testify to stuff like that in court and somebody take your testimony and they play with it like that, that's messed up.
It is messed
right
up.
That's
It's
really
just
messed
totally
up because
Mhm.
she didn't experience that. And that's the God knows truth. She didn't experience that. She took everything and piggybacked off of all of us. And she got help doing it. She got help.
Dr. Phil, I didn't have a refrigerator.
She got so much help doing that.
Yeah.
She got so much help telling their story,
She was giving all
I'm
y'all.
like
She was
this,
giving
I'm
y'all
like-
examination papers and pictures. And they gave her. So I'm sorry. She has this other information that you told me about. I don't know if we're gonna discuss it, but she has everything on us, and it's like, who gave her that stuff? That's wrong.
She told, I'm just gonna say it. She told, I'm not gonna say where at because I want to wait for that, but she told people that you was in a mental facility.
Yeah.
For
from
from the
what
age
5?
of
Yeah,
5 to
from 5 or
6.
6 years old. Yeah.
And people up there asking me how you doing and where you at. And I'm sitting there like, what are you talking about? Because I'm kind of sitting there stuck, you know. Then you tell people that all of us were in mental facilities. I've never been in a mental facility before in my life, nor
Me
have
either.
you,
Never been.
or
Yeah.
any of our other siblings. She's
Nope.
making up all this stuff on people. And I'm like, that's rotten.
And
That's rotten. That's just
this was a law. This was like
pure
a law
meanness.
official.
Yeah.
This was a law official that told you
Yeah.
this. So
Yeah.
we're gonna talk about that later. But yeah, this was a law official.
Yeah. And I'm saying you're sitting up there lying blatantly on all of us, like she did on that
What show was that?
that
There's so
stuff
many.
that she did, that stuff that she did on that Murder Unscripted show. I ain't even I'm just like, I don't even know how to really dissect that whole thing, because none of us have never talked to her. None of us don't have a relationship with her and her kids. It's not even an inkling
Yeah.
of a
But
relationship.
but check this. But check this part out. Okay, she's saying that I was in a mental facility from 5. This started from 5 6 all the way up to I'm the adult, whatever it was. I'm still locked up, supposed to be, right?
Yeah,
Okay, she came to Virginia and I met her. So
exactly.
okay, come on now.
I'm like,
And this was before she wrote, before she did what she did. So I'm like, okay, wasn't locked up. What are you talking about?
They tried it. They tried it. They tried it in California on all 5 of us. Me, Tiffany, Sharon, Keisha, and Marlon. They tried it on us. Talking about people suicide. I never been suicidal before in my life. That's the number one thing about me and every last one of our siblings, is that in that home, if we was just sitting back and not eating, period, because he was starving us up to a week and days, we all probably would have been dead. But we fought to steal food because we wanted to live. And so I'm just like, never a day in my life. I mean, I've been down in the dumps, over some things and feeling bad and all of that because of certain situations that went on with our upbringing. But I've never had it in my head to harm myself. Never. And I know all of our siblings have never done that. And I'm just like, that's the thing is that all of us fought, to be alive.
Yeah.
That's how we made it through that situation, because God was with us, and even though we suffered some brutal punishment for getting what was ours, because it belonged to us, that was us fighting to live. And I'm just like, the stuff that she says it's bad. I don't understand, how can you write a letter, you talk about how we was treated and how our mom was treated, but then you can go write a letter and attack victims that you saw this stuff happen to.
Yeah, that's what she basically did.
And write a
to
letter
attack. Yeah.
and put us in letters like that and lie on all of us like that. That's she cruel, man. And in June 11th of 99, because it's in that police report, states that there was a gun in the house. It was registered. It did not have any bullets in it, and it was safely locked away. So it's in the police report. So I don't know if he turned into Kal-El Superman and ran in the room. I don't know. I'm saying this because she's came up with some bizarre stories.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't get it. And then March 17, here go another doozy right here. Let's see this.
Yeah.
This one right here is crazy. On March 17, 2017, she told this reporter by the name of Marcy Lane at Cleveland News that Musa made her mom and Adrian stand in the corner and recite all the Quranic verses. And he would beat their feet. She said while they were standing in the corner, mom and her would write notes to each other.
Okay,
Now,
you had a pen or a pencil and paper in the corner and passing notes.
but the thing is that she stated all of this stuff in her testimony happened to all of us, that we would get in trouble for the smallest things, for not remembering to study our verses, the Quranic verses, and he would make us stand in the corner all night. She said all of this stuff and get beaten on the feet about all of us that was kids. And I'm like, now she flipping the story on her mom and Adrian.
But they stay in the corner writing notes to each other. Okay, if one is in that corner, one is that corner. Why y'all writing notes and handing it off to each other? And what's in those notes?
All I'm gonna say is this: Celie was not afraid of Hoppo.
You told Hoppo to beat
me.
She crazy for this. That's wrong. It's wrong taking, that's what happened to y'all. Dad did that to y'all. And I experienced that when I was younger, sitting in the he would put me in closets all night.
Yeah.
In the dark, or I would have to sit in the corner all day. I mean, constantly. Mm-hmm. So it's like she stole that from y'all. That's what Dad did to y'all. And it was no passing no notes to nobody. If he even catch you, you couldn't even go to sleep.
She told Charles.
Yeah.
She told Charles White, YouTube, a guy on YouTube and Facebook, that I think was on a Facebook Live. She told Charles White that mom and her, the way that they communicated, they would write notes to each other. Where's those notes at? They would write notes to each other. How would you write notes to each other if you was locked in the garage? How did you pass notes? Then on June 21st, 1998, Laura told social worker Todd Blanca that she did not pray with us or recite any Quranic verses with us. She stayed to herself. Now, this is going back to on March 17th, where she stated to Marcy Lane in an article that Musa made her mom Adrian stand in the corner and recite Quranic verses, and he would beat their feet, she said. But then she goes back on June 21st, 1998, and that's stated in the police report. She told social worker Todd Blanca that she did not pray with us or recite any Quranic verses with us. She stayed to herself. This is in the police report. And she testified to a jury that she did not follow Musa's teaching because she was with the Nation of Islam. That's what she said.
Yeah.
She didn't follow any of his teaching. So how was you standing in the corner, lady? How was you standing in the corner?
How you said you was a second wife?
Hannah been in the back. Hannah been in the back the whole time saying stuff, y'all.
He like, Hannah,
he know.
Then he said, "Dan, how you saying you a second wife?" I don't know. This stuff is just way out.
Yeah, it is.
He said that's sectarian Islam, Sunni and Shiite Muslim.
Yeah.
Stuff all day long. It is. I just don't like how they used the Muslim religion to get away with certain things, because I'm looking at mom's statements in that police report, and I'm looking at some of Dad's statements, and I'm listening to Laura on certain podcasts saying that she thought that the way that we was being treated was okay. I don't know if you've seen some of
I don't
these.
know if I don't know if I saw that one, but
Yeah,
yeah.
she said that she thought that well, she told Charles White on YouTube, no, Facebook Live, that she thought that the discipline that we was receiving, some of it was normal because of the Muslim religion. The Muslim religion does not tell you to treat children like that. Matter of fact, they have verses in the Quran about how you treat children, how you're not supposed to break their flesh and provoke them, how you're not supposed to starve your children, and how you're supposed to provide for children and your wife. It doesn't state any of the stuff that they was doing. And then she made a comment that, you know, he wouldn't let her read the Quran, but you told Todd Balanca in the police report that you
Yeah.
read the Quran and did your prayer on your own. That's what you told the social worker in the police report. But then you go back and you tell a news reporter that he was tricking you up when it came to the Quran.
It's crazy.
I'm just like,
It's
it's so many lies, so much contradiction. Nothing is being told, you know, on what actually happened.
nah.
And I'm like, all of us have done a lot of reading and research, and we know that this stuff, it just don't connect.
Lucy, you have some explaining to do.
She sure do. And that's to God. She got to explain
And-
that stuff too.
And like we said, we spoke to the DA twice, and we spoke to somebody else, and they said the same thing. This case was not about her, and it was a child abuse case. It is not a domestic violence case at all.
That's what I asked the office manager there and the DA, and she said, no, this is not a domestic abuse case. I said, well, Laura is telling everybody in Cleveland it's a domestic abuse case. She said it's not. She said your father went to prison strictly off of all the children that was in that home, and she said all your siblings. She said they had to make sure that he went to prison because it wasn't just that scenario that happened, but it was a pattern
Yeah.
of it going on.
For years, way back, like I said, it started with me in the late
said,
70s.
she brought it up. She said when it happened to your older brother, she said they saw it, and then it happened to some of your other kids, and they brought you guys from Virginia to California, and the pattern just continued. I mean, you got to, and I'm telling everybody, you got to go and, you know, Laura said, do your own research. Yeah, do your own research. Make sure you investigate her. Make sure you ask her, go to her page, go to her foundation page and ask her all the questions and see if she gonna answer them.
And here's my thing. I don't care if you've been knowing Laura for 15, 20 years. How many years you've been knowing her? 10, 5 years, whatever. Okay, say she did some good stuff for you. Okay, that doesn't mean that she's, you know, she's right in this situation. She did some things wrong, a lot, and she's still doing. She's making money off the family.
Yeah. But
yeah,
like you said, I like that what you said. Just because you've been knowing her for 15, 20 years, however long you've been knowing her, and you've seen her do some good, that still don't take away from our experience of what we experienced and what she did.
Because anybody can do some good and still have some dirt on them. You know what I'm saying? Anybody can do some good and still have some dirt somewhere. I mean, come on now.
Mm-hmm. It's just messed up. All of it. It's messed up.
Man. So was that it for the list?
Yeah, that's a wrap until well, we got more coming Friday.
Yeah, we got a lot coming on Friday, and we're still gonna do that. The other video with Musa story time and all that. It's just taking us some time to get that together, but we're gonna be doing that.
Hmm.
Yeah. So I tell you, y'all, this past year has been, an eye opener, and it still is. And like I said, we are bringing out more information little by little. So y'all
Yeah.
just keep watching our videos. Like, share, subscribe, comment, everything. Share it, do everything. Like I said, get up here, make some comments, ask us some things, and we'll answer.
Hmm.
Go back, look at all the videos, bring yourself up to date to get familiar with the story. Yeah, because much more is coming. All right, that'll be it. And once again, everyone have a great day, and we'll see you next week. Or actually, this week
Good night.
later.
Yep.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Good night.